Hey everybody, I am your girl, Miss Nicole Tyler, aka Sexy Clean the Ruler in the building. Happy Sunday, everybody. Happy Easter to everybody. Yes. I am here just to chat it up for a little bit. Yes, as usual, I have the phone lines open 804-528-7766. And I just want to know from everybody, if you do decide to call in to bless me with your beautiful voice, just let me know what you are thankful for. Also, we are still quarantining. We are still under attack from that big bad virus. The virus, we're still under attack from that. So let me know what you are doing to keep yourself productive. And also, you all, I want to know from you all, if you do decide to call in today, what is or are you liking the new normal? Is this the new normal? That's what I really want to know. I've been on the YouTube streets and I've just been listening to a lot of my conservative brothers, a lot of political people who are just some analysts, and listening to a lot of people call into their shows, and a lot of people are just so frustrated because some families are being affected by the virus. A lot of people are sick. A lot of people, thank God, a lot of people are adhering to the government by staying in. But a lot of people, you all, have not been affected by this virus themselves. A lot of people are not sick. There is reports of people of empty hospitals. There are reports of no one getting sick. I have heard reports of there is a high incidence of African American or Black people coming down with the virus and losing their lives. Some people are saying because the lack of health care and things like that. I just seem to think that it's, in my opinion, there's always something that we are not seeing that they are trying to tell us. They're always trying to make it look like Black people don't have insurance, or Black people are, they have all these. We do. Everybody, not just Black people, have conditions that are there, like diabetes, like heart disease, like obesity here in America, because a lot of people are not eating the right foods. But they always try to put that stigma on African Americans. We're just a high incidence. They're just dying. But and they're saying, because we don't have health care and things like that. But you would you need health care if you were taking care of yourselves and eating the right damn foods? Okay. So, we all need health care, but if you are eating the right foods, then you won't be going to the doctor and going to the hospital as much, because guess what, you all? I don't have health insurance. I surely don't. And you all know, if you all been with me for the last couple of years, you all don't hardly even see me sneeze on camera. You all don't hardly ever see me sick on camera. Now, I have confessed to having flus in my life. Okay, I have had the flu in my lifetime. I'm 48 years old. But as time has gone on, I think I have gotten a lot better as far as taking care of myself, as far as vitamins, taking care of myself, as far as creating an alkalinic environment in my body, so that I don't get too many colds and don't get too many viruses. So I just think that African American people, white people, Asian people, you all can do the same to keep yourselves out of the hospital. Continue to wear your mask, continue to wash your hands and things like that, as we should be doing anyway. You all know I just get into it. Okay, I just come on in the room. Come on, my hearts and roses, just come on in the room, because time I say it's live, I'm ready to go. Okay. So I have been seeing that, and I was listening to the Chicago report of, they're saying that they don't want this coronavirus to take us out, far as African American people. And I'm just looking, I'm listening to the report and all these things, but I'm like, okay, so we don't want this coronavirus to take us out, but why aren't we having that same sentiment when it comes to gun violence in our youth? I said it. Chicago, along with a lot of inner cities, you all, we have a whole lot of gun violence and gang and gang activity in a whole lot of these inner cities, you all. But here with this coronavirus, they want us really to focus on this coronavirus and focus on the high incidence of African Americans getting this disease and dying. Now, I don't know too many children or teenagers that are dying from this virus. I don't know. I have heard of some people in their 40s and 50s who are getting it and succumbing to the virus. In my opinion, yeah, the virus is, it can be deadly. You all know I had some kind of virus a couple of years ago. I thought I was praising and asking Jesus to come and get me, Lord. But I survived, okay? So I'm thinking that some of the people who are young, people who are my age, I'm thinking you all just definitely take care of yourselves. If you all have been watching my videos, I have been telling you about baking soda, lemon, ginger root, black seed oil, green tea. What else have we been talking about? Organic vinegar. We have been talking about all kinds of different things to keep our body, the colloidal silver, to keep our body alkalinic so that we don't succumb and get this doggone virus. Okay, you all? All right, let me see. A nurse is telling folks to get health. Oh, okay, so I don't know. Somebody took them out. Nicole, your skin is very... Well, thank you. I'm going to my mom's house for dinner today. So that's why I got on my little dress. I got on my little African dress. I really love this dress. I can't show it. Maybe I'll take a picture and send it and put it on my post it up because people love when I wear this dress. And it fits to all my curves. Okay, so 804-528-7766. So that is what I would say. Hey, Blazing, how are you doing? Apple cider detox today from Lowe's Food. Yeah, that's right. Happy Easter. Thank you all. Happy Easter to all my beautiful subscribers, all of my beautiful viewers, the hearts and roses that are in the building, and all of the other teams and clubs that are out there and groups that are out there. Something that I saw on the news to you all was that it's crazy how, people, want me to stay inside. I just don't, I like being inside, for me. But when I'm out here, I feel like it's Car Chronicles time. Okay, you all? So that's why I just love that I'm comfortable in my car. But I had been inside. Of course, I'm inside. And during one of my Car Chronicles, I guess a week or two ago, I was talking about, I'm not going to bring this young lady's name up, but in my little rant, I was talking about drones flying over Miss Nicole Tyler's head, right, y'all? I don't know who was there, but I said it a couple of times. And it is crazy to me that I'm listening to one of my brothers last night on YouTube, and he's talking about Elizabeth, New Jersey, and how there is drones in Elizabeth, New Jersey. And there is video footage of this drone that is flying around. It's sounding like a cop car, and it's also there to enforce social distancing. So I was just in surprise and in shock that I just was talking about drones because, the ancestors is always talking to Miss Nicole Tyler and putting things in my spirit, in my mouth to say to you all. And it is just so crazy that now they may be trying to enforce, and maybe we're going to start having drones in our areas to enforce this social distancing. So that's why one of the questions that I was asking you all, are you all, how are you all feeling about the new normal that is coming upon us very rapidly during this time of this quarantine of this virus? How are you all feeling about that? What is going to happen when this doggone pandemic is over? What is going to happen now? I'm sure they've invested a lot of money in these drones. Are they going to enforce these drones? These drones are going to be flying around us. We're not going to be able to come outside. A lot of people are not going to church today, you all. A lot of people are watching their gospel Easter Sunday tidings and everything, the word on computer, online. They're not even able to go to church. There is reports of this pastor who he bought sanitizer, gloves, masks. He had everything at the church. He spent so much money on these things to have a gathering to talk and preach to the people, and he was arrested. So how are you all feeling with this? Do you all feel that this is going to be our new normal? With all of this taking place, do you all feel that this is the beginning of something? A beginning of a whole new life for us from this day on forward. Now that is what I am seeing with all this drones and flying down on people and telling people, oh, you're standing too close together. Oh, you need to be 6 feet apart, and all these. Oh, you need to get back into the house. You're out after curfew. What the hell is going on? If we are here in the United States, we are United States citizens. We have a constitutional right. We have civil rights. We have human rights. But yet now it seems that we're going to be paroled by these damn drones that are flying above our heads. Now already it's in Elizabeth, New Jersey, which is not even that far from. I'm 6 hours, like 5 hours, well, maybe 6 hours away from there. In New Jersey, I'm like 6 hours away from there. So do you all think this is, we're heading for something? Are we going to stand by and let this go on? Now, what about another question I heard someone say, or just came to my mind, is what about when this is under control as far as this virus? Now, if you ask me, I'm just going to keep it real. It still has not reached the proportions of how many people die every year from the flu. It still have not reached to 70 to maybe 70 to 100,000 people a year from the flu. This pandemic that we're in haven't even reached that proportion, that number yet. But we get these people that die every year in the United States. So what is going to happen when they say, okay, quarantining is over, we think we got this coronavirus under control, but the flu is still here? So I don't. So it's so many conflicting reports. It's almost like they're playing in our face. I just don't understand. What are they trying to tell us? That's why it's very important for you all to read, think for yourself, have your own damn opinion. Listen to all people. Don't just say, okay, I'm sticking with you because you're more of what I can understand. No, you need to listen to all views of everybody. So that we can, because everybody, we're all not the same. We all think differently. So that's why it's important for us to all band together and listen to each other. Now, another thing, you all, and I'm not reading comments, so let me see. The flu, we already know how it works and it moves. No, that's not true. That's not true, Blazing, in my opinion. Because every year you got to take a different flu shot. So if they know how the flu is moving every year, you getting a flu shot, they give you a different flu shot every year, different strains of the flu. And they got to put it in you to see how you adapt to what they're putting inside of your body. And I do know people who have died from the flu shot, Blazing. I know people who died from the flu shot. Let me see. Well, thank you. Hi, Miss Renee. Thank you, Miss Renee, and happy Easter to all of you all out there. What are the numbers for the flu, Miss Nicole? What are the numbers? The flu, far as I've known, is 70 to 100,000 a year for the flu shot. For the flu that goes on every year. People get the flu every year, all throughout the year, every year. And people die from the flu. So, and then even if some people get the flu and you have these conditions, and you may get the flu, but okay, yeah, you have a weak heart. Yeah, you have some things going on within your body that you have not taken care of, and the flu just took you out. We also have pneumonia. Pneumonia will take you out quick too. So what I'm saying is, after this coronavirus is over, which still have not reached the levels of the flu as far as the number, as far as 70,000 to 100,000 a year that people die from the flu a year, and the coronavirus still has not reached that number. I don't know how many, what is the number of the coronavirus? I don't think it's that many. I don't think, from what I'm hearing, is it 5,000? How many people have died from the coronavirus in America? I don't think it's nothing like 70 to 100,000 like the flu every year. So what I'm saying is, so you're saying it's 20,000, it's 20,000 compared to 70 to 100 a year of flu? Okay, so what I'm saying is, once this coronavirus and they get it under control, what is going to be put in place? Because the flu is still here. The flu is still taking people out. We still got cancer. People are still dying from cancer. We still got people drinking on the road and hitting people, and they're dying. We still got a lot of stuff going on that could, in my opinion, is pandemic levels, but because it's normal at that time, it's normal. Oh, you died of flu? Okay, complications of the flu? Okay, that's normal. Oh, you died of complications of the coronavirus? Oh my God. So I think that we all got to start taking all of these. We got to treat everything as the same. So my thing is, once we get this coronavirus under control, what is going to happen? What is going to be the new normal for us all? With them putting all these things in place, we have, I think the schools are sending out all of these notebooks and all of these computers and things for to teach the children at home. Is that going to be the new normal, that the kids can't come outside, they can't go to school anymore? What about us working? Now, remember, I did a show a couple of months ago or something, and I was saying that, shoot, if people are working from home, why do they need to go into work? A lot of this stuff I've already was saying before. That's not nothing new. Now we have the stimulus package coming out. Somebody told me they sent out 32 million people stimulus package the day before yesterday. When I was on, they got some money, but to me that's not even a damn enough. If you are a working citizen who may be making $50,000 a year, versus now you're not working and they're only going to send you out maybe a good $5,000. What about for the rest of the damn year? What is going to happen if they continue on with this quarantine? I got my stimulation package. I didn't get nothing in the mail. Well, thank you. It's actually a dress. Yeah, it's not any money. People want that money. That $1,200 is not nothing. It's not any money. So how are you all feeling this morning? Did any of you all watch any of the Sunday services online this morning? How are you all feeling about that? How are you all feeling just about, in my opinion, is it going to be the new normal with us not being able to go to the movies or go to the restaurants? Just go out and do the things that we are used to doing. A lot of people don't like getting their food curbside service. A lot of people like being able to go inside somewhere and eat. A lot of people like going into libraries and reading books and things like that. A lot of people like going to museums. A lot of people, you want to take your children out to the park. So is this the new normal where we are not going to be able to do these things anymore? And how are you all even feeling about that? Yeah, I have not watched the Clark sisters biopic. I don't have that on my television. I don't know what channel it came on, but I don't think I have that. So I have to, maybe I'll order it this weekend. Today or tonight or whatever, because a lot of people are talking about the Clark sisters. I think things will restore, but the government will definitely make the coronavirus vaccine required. Now I'm hearing, also I've been on the YouTube streets moseying around, and I've been hearing that that this medication that I think that Trump was talking about, I think that Fauci person was talking about, that hydroxychloroquine, I'm hearing that does work well. I'm hearing that some people have taken that, and I think maybe in other countries, and they have it has solved or taken care of the coronavirus or whatever, But I'm hearing that it's a inexpensive drug, and I'm thinking that I'm hearing that there is a lot of pushback with this drug because it's very inexpensive. So I know that America likes to make money. I know the pharmaceuticals, they like to make money. So maybe that's why they're not really pushing that drug, because it's very inexpensive and they want to charge Americans a lot of damn money. Now that is what I'm saying. I don't know. Some people have died from that also. What I want to say also, I'm hearing a lot of people aside of me talking about having an alkalinic environment in your body. Some people are saying taking B vitamins and zinc, that helps to get rid of this virus. So I'm hearing that as well. I'm hearing a lot of people are telling me that they have increased their lemon intake, lemon and water. They're drinking lemon tea. I'm hearing a lot of people doing a lot of things to keep their bodies in shape. and to keep their bodies, their immune system top shape. So I think that, when they come talking about, it's a high incidence of African Americans, they are just dying at this rate. I'm thinking, maybe it can be poor diet. That African Americans, we may need to do better with our diet. We may need to do better, with exercising. Okay, that's what I'm thinking. You know, um, that that's the way I see that. I think that I think they're trying to scare. They're always trying to scare African American people. You all are dying. What are you gonna do about it? Well, we need to just take care of ourselves a little better. Okay, and instead of us scaring, instead of trying to always put fear in the African Americans' head, oh, you're dying of this disease. What about getting all these goddamn guns out of my goddamn city? Okay, why don't you kick these doors down instead of trying to scare me half to death to make me stay inside and all these kinds of things? Get these guns out of our communities. Okay, put some doggone centers in our communities. Okay, put some computers in our community so we can learn. Okay, go ahead on and put some parks so we can come outside and play. Get rid of all the gun violence and things like that. Now, see, it seems like they want to scare us to death over this virus, but when we've been dying. How many people dying in Chicago a year? How many people are dying in these inner cities a year? But yet you want to scare us to death. You want to scare us to death about a virus. Get into it. The things that's right in front of our face, that's killing us daily, that's killing off our generations and generations of people. That's nothing. Oh, people die every day. The people gunshot every day. Oh, that ain't nothing, Nicole. But yeah, the big bad virus, 6 feet apart. They're targeting black African American people. Just another thing to add onto our list. I said it. Just another thing to add onto our list of things that we need to go ahead on and get right with our communities and with ourselves. We need to reach for each other. Each one teach one. Okay. We need to listen to more of people talking about how to save each other instead of. And I know that we are in our sector, we do put each other down a lot, but at the same time, when it comes to self-deprivation, that means we need to put down the child's play, and we think about ourselves, our generations, our offspring, and things like that. I want to thank all of you all for being here today. I didn't really want to be here long. I just wanted to do a little preaching with us to just, to love one another. It's Easter. Unfortunately, it is sad because you all can't go to church. I don't go to church on Easter, but I do look forward to seeing the Easter mothers with those big doggone hats. And I do look forward to seeing all the beautiful women when they go into church and all that, would have the big pretty hats on. They're wearing their little yellow or their pink or their green. I like seeing the little girls dressed up in their bonnets and things like that. So that is something that we don't have going on now because of the social distancing that the government is implementing in all of our states. So and then also, let's just keep it real. A lot of us can't even afford any Easter outfits this year because a lot of us are not working. A lot of us are out of work. We don't have any jobs and things like that. And let's just keep it real. The ones that do have food, we all sitting around eating all the damn time. So we can't fit what we wore last year to church. We have outgrown those Easter outfits from last year. Like Miss Nicole Tyler. Okay. Uh-huh. Oh boy. What are you all talking about? And thank you for being here, Renee, because I know you all are busy with your families today. I'm gonna be going with my mom. My mom is cooking dinner, and you all, I know I have been out every 2 or 3 days. I come out, I go visit my daughter, I go visit my mom, then I might go to the store and come right on back in, and I'm just sitting there in the house like everybody else. Okay, now something else that I think I heard too while I was online is that you all may have heard the story. So Let me know if I'm right. You all can call in. Thank you for putting them hearts and roses in the building in my chat. Thank you. Now, did I hear that because of a mother is working on the front lines of the COVID-19? Um, I'm hearing that this doctor enforced, or this doctor uh, took some kind of way. I don't know if he went to the courts to try to have this woman's children taken away from her. Did I hear something like that? Because she is working with the COVID-19 on the front lines of saving lives, and this doctor thought that her child was in that her child may be affected, so he took her child away. Am I hearing something like that? So you all can Google this story and let me know if I'm getting it wrong, because sometimes I didn't write it down. But I'm hearing that this young woman's child got taken away from her because she is working on the front lines of the COVID-19 virus, and she's saving lives. That's her job. So I don't know if this doctor, I don't know what's going on with that, but anyway, they took her child away. So you all may want to Google that. So is this going to be a part of the new normal, where children are getting taken away? I think I did hear something like that. So we all need to really do some investigation on that. I think, because they're saying that the mothers or the fathers who are working in the medical field may spread the disease, the virus, to the children. So they're taking the children away. Now, did y'all hear that? Because I did hear that. Hear something along those lines. Yeah, just be safe. So you all, so it's a lot of things that's going on out here, you all. So I don't know. I'm ready to go back to work. I when I'm at work, you all, I think that the Car Chronicles is a lot better because I feel more productive when I'm working, you all. I thought that, okay, being off every other day or whatever, I'm working some in the morning and then it's go in a couple of hours, off a couple of hours, go back in. I thought that I would enjoy that, but I'm just ready to go back to work like a lot of Americans. I miss being productive. I just want to run to the school and beat the door down. Say, please let me in. Everything I thought this would be like, oh, this could be a vacation. I'm over it. I'm ready to go back to work. Okay, I'm ready to go back to work. I am, even sometimes I say, well, maybe just, walk around the block, get a little exercise in before you go in. It's just weird because I'm walking around the block and I'm seeing all these people with masks on from head to toe. It's so freaky, it's scary. It freaks you out while you're out walking and everybody has masks on. And then you all, what about with everybody having on these masks? Look, let me ask you, have anybody heard of any looting going on? I think I heard of one story of looting. I have not heard of a lot of people a lot of people looting like normally. So I haven't heard of a lot of people looting. What about if everybody is wearing masks? Wouldn't normally we be afraid of people who wearing masks because we don't know what's behind the mask? But what about if you're at a bank or you're at the grocery store and everybody's wearing masks? You can get robbed. You don't even, how are you going to identify the person if the person come up to rob you and he got on a mask from head to toe? I mean, well, not head to toe mask, but I'm just saying he's covered with the mask on. You can't see but the eyes. So I just want everything to go back to normal. The normal that I'm used to. So it gotta be scary, for people, just like me. Like I said, I get a little anxiety if I am walking around the block, just to get some exercise in, get some vitamin D in, sunlight in, and everybody around you is wearing masks. It's just scary. It's just scary. You can only go through the drive-through for the banks. Future mask off. High talent acquainted. Right now, I'm fearing the person not wearing the mask. See, remember we already had that conversation that you see, I'm not wearing my mask. I don't wear my mask in my car or anything. And remember I told you that I'm fearful of them and they're fearful of me. Because I'm not wearing my mask, they wearing their mask, they think I have something. You see what I'm saying? Now, I have not had, now you all know I've been coming on every couple of days. I come on with you all. I have not had any signs and symptoms. Okay. I'm happy to say that, all right? I haven't had any signs or symptoms. Now I do have some family members who have fevers and they have cold symptoms. They don't live near me. I haven't even gone to visit them. I just talked to them on the phone. Okay, and they live way out somewhere, thank goodness. But my family, my mom, thank goodness, my mom has COPD. She has respiratory issues. My mom just had heart surgery last July. Luckily, she has not been going outside at all. And she hasn't had any signs or symptoms of anything, just her normal little stuff that goes on with her. My sister, my brother, I have a sister and a brother, y'all. They have not had any signs or symptoms. Their kids are great. My kids are great. They haven't had any signs or symptoms either. So and my grandkids are doing great. They have not had any signs or symptoms. But I think that when you look at the news and they tell you 20,000 people have died from this, and I think there's a level of fear that is put into us so that we can walk around in fear and feel like something is going to happen to us, that we are going to get this, instead of, in my opinion, doing what you've always done. Wash your hands, take care of yourself, eat the right foods. So I feel like I've always done these things. So, I feel like, wow, what's wrong with y'all? Aren't y'all already doing this stuff? Like, are y'all already should be cleaning your damn house up? You already should be, I'm huge with using the bleach. I'm thinking, what is going on? Now, one baffling thing to me, you all, that I'm shocked, that is I'm hearing that they are conflating the numbers, so because they want that level of fear to be out there. That's what I'm hearing. I'm not saying that they're doing this. I have heard that all the hospitals are empty, but I'm hearing that they are conflating the numbers. I'm hearing that people are being paid to say, whenever you have a loved one coming to the hospital who may be having respiratory issues, and the diagnosis is not even coronavirus, COVID-19, I'm hearing that people are saying, well, we're just going to put that down there as your diagnosis anyway. Have anybody heard that they're trying to conflate the numbers and trying to suggest to the patients and their family members that this is what you have, when this is not even anything near what you have? I'm hearing reports of that. So even if you have a loved one come in and pass away, I'm hearing that they're saying, oh, you died from COVID-19. This is what I'm hearing out in the street, that people are being forced to say that that's what they died from. And what I wanted to say too is, how is this getting into the nursing homes? Now, I have a cousin that works for a couple of nursing homes here in Richmond, and she's laid off right now. And I talked to her yesterday, and she was just going on and on and on, and she was just so pissed off from being laid off, because actually a couple of people in some of the places that she worked, they saying that they have it. And I'm thinking, well, how are they getting it? They don't go outside. A lot of these elderly people, I've worked in nursing homes, you all. A lot of elderly people do not go outside. They may go out and get some sunlight, but they're not walking around. I worked in nursing homes for majority of my life. We're not taking them out there all to the malls, and they're not doing that. So how is it that a lot of these older people are getting this 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 virus? And somebody said a lot of the staff are not sick. So the staff is the carriers and making the older people sick. I don't think anyone I've known have encountered just media. So my cousin is so pissed off because she doesn't have it, but she's been laid off. She doesn't have it, but she's been laid off, and a couple of the patients there have it. Well, the elderly that live there at these nursing homes, they have it. They have been diagnosed with it. So I don't know, you all. I don't know. I was talking to my niece, and I was telling my niece that night that I caught that bad flu, I think that might have been COVID-19. And I was telling her that, I could see why I caught it, because I was in close quarters. The place where I was not very big. I was in close quarters to people. We were all drinking. We were dancing. I was sweating, I was listening to work. I mean, I was working it. I was breaking it down. I mean, when that song came out with that Rihanna with that work. I mean, I was winding it, honey. I mean, I was inviting the COVID to come into my body because I was just work. So I can see why I caught it. Because I was in a close quarters, I was dancing, I was drinking, and I was work. I can see why I caught it. I was not outside, where the air is or anything. I was in close quarters with somebody that may have had it too. So, and my girlfriend caught it, me and my girlfriend caught it at the same exact time. We was there together. So I can see why we caught it. We was in close quarters with each other, and we was sweating and things like that. But far as a lot of the nursing homes, a lot of the elderly people are getting into the nursing homes. I don't know. I don't know too many staff people that have it. I was very sick in December as well. I believe it's real. I believe it's real. I have several family members that have it. Yeah, I believe that it's real. I just believe that it's a virus, it's a part of the flu. Folks were reporting crop dusters dropping something over the Leavenworth Federal Prison. Oh wow. Yeah, have anybody thought about the people in the prison? And what about that now? Have anybody heard of any prisoners getting it? Now, that would be, now that's something to think about. Are the prisoners getting the COVID-19? Are prisoners getting COVID-19? That's what I would like to know. Do anybody know anybody in jail or in prison? Hello, this is Miss Nicole Tyler. Happy Easter. What is your comment? We just kicking the bobo on the COVID-19. Is this the new normal?
Happy Easter, Nicole.
Well, happy Easter. Happy Easter.
I had to call you. I'm short on time, but I had to call you because I heard you spreading disinformation in regards to the coronavirus, making these comparisons, these false comparisons to the flu. Our community, the Black community, is really impacted heavily.
But why do you think so? Why do you think so?
It's because we allow people to spread this nonsense without rebutting them. And that's one of the reasons why I was compelled to call you now, is because you are subtly trying to give the impression that all of this is being blown out of proportion. When in fact, this is a serious issue, Nicole. You may not see it. You may not know anybody yet because it hasn't impacted your area. So this is a very serious
Well,
situation.
hold on. Hold
Pockets.
on. Let me say this. It has impacted my area. I told you 2 weeks ago that it was in my area. It's in my
Yeah, but
area.
you're talking about people. You're ready to go. I mean, we would all like to go back to our old normal, but that's not going to happen. And
Okay.
we need to kind of tamper people's expectation about getting back out and engaging with one another prior to this coronavirus outbreak. This is what we're doing now should be implemented for at least the next 3 months to reduce the total number of deaths from the coronavirus this year.
So what about
So
the
you need
flu
to get
virus?
on.
So what about the flu virus? Do you think that we should just put the flu virus along with all viruses in the same basket with the coronavirus?
Yeah,
Should we? Do you think that we should that medication, the hydroxychloroquine or whatever how you pronounce it? Do you think that should be given to for the flu as well as the coronavirus? Don't you think we should take
yeah.
both of these viruses in
Hydrochloric.
consideration because the flu virus is killing 70 to 100,000 people a year for the last 20 or 30 years. Do you think that we should take all of that in consideration as the same thing?
Well, when you talk about the flu virus, you have to understand the coronavirus. This novel coronavirus is easily transmitted. It's able to be transmitted easier than the flu virus. Also, yeah, it's 10 times more lethal than the flu virus.
Have you
We've had.
I mean, okay, now, okay, I understand what you're saying now. You know that how many people would you say live in China? Is it a billion people?
Okay,
I think that
you got about a billion people. You got about a billion people in China, but
okay,
you have
hold
to
on, hold on.
understand
Okay, hold
their
on. If
government
hold
can
on, let me
lock
say this
down.
point. Let me say this point. If a billion people live in China and 1.2 million people live in that Wuhan, where this virus originated at, and only 4,000 people have died out of 1.2 million people.
Nicole,
And you're
what
saying
you have
that
to understand
I'm
is
trying
you
to
can't
understand the
trust
numbers of 1.2 million people in that city or in that area, and only 3 to 4,000 people have died from that coronavirus out of 1.2 million people. So in the United States, they're saying 20,000 have died in the whole United States versus 70,000 of the flu.
look, Nicole, you can't trust numbers coming out of China. That's one of the things they have continuously
I believe
provided
that. Now that's true.
misinformation and pushed out numbers. Matter of fact, it is suspected that the death rate in China is a tremendous amount. And what they're reporting right now is to make themselves look good because they're trying to position themselves as a major player now to kind of like take over the world that the United States has
Somebody
played
said
for all
China
these
is
many
not telling
years.
the truth. I believe that is Renee. China is not telling the truth because I'm hearing that more people died in Italy than in China.
Yeah, yeah. I would. The China numbers are like off the records, but we're not going to know that officially
But
until
why,
someone
why do you
actually.
think? But let me ask you a question. Do you out of 1.2 million people, only 4,000 people died? They say. Why do you think that they will lie about those numbers if they're spreading this horrible infection all over the world? Won't don't you think
Say,
don't you think that the numbers will be so much higher in China if that's where it originated? And don't you think it'll be up there like maybe a 500,000 people or something? If it's spreading like
uh,
wildflower the way that they say that it is. I'm trying to make some sense of this because if it's and it's 1 point something billion people in China. In this area it's 1.2
right.
million, but only 4,000 people have died. Don't you think that number would be a lot higher?
Yeah,
If it's
that's
really that it's, I
right.
mean I'm not saying that this virus is a tap on the wrist. No, I'm saying it is a virus. It is very deadly. But I'm saying, why would they give those numbers, those very low numbers? That's what I'm saying. It don't make no
The
sense that they would give low numbers. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, it makes sense because it gives the impression to the rest of the world that they have this thing under control while everybody else is spiraling, other nations are spiraling out of control. They want to give the illusion, put forth the illusion that all is well, their economy is going to get back up and running now. Meanwhile, we here in the United States, Spain, Italy, we're being ravaged by this virus. But I've got to run, Nicole. I just wanted to say Happy Easter to you,
Well, thank
and
you.
take this seriously. Take this very seriously. Don't wait till it impacts somebody close to you for you to take it seriously. Take this very
I
seriously.
take I take it
Um,
seriously, but I just think that I don't like the fear aspect of anything. I think that's what it is. I think that the fear to tell me that something is out there that's going to kill me and things like that. Okay, but I don't think that it should be propagandized as a fear tactic to get me to just stay in the house and not live my
yeah.
life. But thank you so much for
Well, see,
calling in. Okay, go
yeah.
ahead. You got
Well,
to.
one other thing is we, unfortunately, because of our last presidential election, there is now a distrust of the news media. We don't know what to believe, so this is part of the problem. We as a nation, we don't know who's telling the truth, so we kind of dismiss things that we shouldn't be dismissing. It's a mess. But yeah, enjoy the rest of your day, and happy Easter again, Nicole.
Thank you for calling in. Okay, bye bye. Yeah, so I think that when it comes to the fear factor, I think that's what I just don't like. I don't like that because I'm so afraid that now my kids can't go to school or I can't go to the grocery store and things like that. Hello, this is Miss Nicole Tyler. What is your comment today on Car Chronicles?
Hi, Nicole. This is Drea. How are you?
Hi, Drea. Come on and give us some information that we can use today for Easter.
Well, I've been listening to your commentary, and I have been personally touched by COVID. A very close friend of mine came down with COVID, and she's an older woman, and she had pre-existing respiratory issues, and so she's, had flu, bronchitis, asthma, all this other stuff in the past. The biggest difference between the flu and the COVID is she had projectile coughing. She felt like she was drowning.
Mm-hmm.
So, this thing has, it's very similar to the flu, but it's like the flu times 10. So the thing about it is, I think the real issue is not only how many people have COVID, but how many people are walking around asymptomatic and spreading this. Because just because you don't feel any symptoms doesn't mean you're not a carrier and you're not spreading it. So,
But that could be said for most a lot of diseases and infections and viruses. That a lot of us have a lot of stuff carriers of a lot of stuff already inside of us. So the
absolutely.
thing is with me is that I already know I'm a carrier of a whole lot of different infections, viruses, and everything and diseases already. But I just don't want to be afraid and fearful to not to live my life because of this virus. Because a lot of people, many people who have this virus, and a lot of people are getting it that's older. It is affecting everybody indifferently, especially if you have the pre-existing conditions.
Well, and in the beginning, they were saying like it wasn't really impacting young people a lot, and so you had those knuckleheads that went to spring break in Florida, and a lot of them got sick. So the thing is, at first they were just concentrating on saying this was impacting the older community. Well, we know that's not the case because you
Yeah.
can be younger and have pre-existing conditions and be in poor health, or there's other factors we don't know about. Because the problem is, this is a novel virus, which means we don't know anything about this particular virus. Whereas with the flu, there's we know about the flu. There are vaccines for the flu. We have, there's research, and we have history with the flu. This is a novel virus.
Do you think that this virus,
So
do you think that it actually came from China, or was it already here? Because if you're a person who watches my show, I told you of a story that happened, probably maybe after I had my situation, my sickness with this. I believe I had COVID too. I just believe that. But this the newscaster here, she went to sleep. She came down with something. She didn't know what it was. She went to the store. She bought some medication and she went to sleep and didn't wake up. And because people around her in her community, they knew that she was ill, and they went and broke her door down and rushed her to the hospital. And she had the flu-like or COVID-like symptoms and things like that. Do you think that this COVID was already here in the States, or did it actually really come from China? Because I'm thinking I had it too. I'm thinking a lot of people that I know have had it already, because I've had the respiratory stuff. I had the whole thing with this virus. I've had that whole thing. I think everybody, it affects differently. But where do you think it came from? Do you think it came from China, or was it already here? Because I think that. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
at this point, I'm hearing a lot of people saying at the end of last year, they came down with something that was unusually harder than what they already had.
It was weird.
So they had the flu when they got hit last at the end of last year. This was exaggerated. So I think COVID was already here, and that
Yeah,
would make sense
I'm thinking
because
that too.
we internationally travel. So before it was taken notice of, yeah, we travel from different countries, and so we have the ability to be contaminated from different countries and bring it back into this country. Whether it started in China or not, to me, that's really not important because it's here now. And again, it's how we deal with this situation. I understand people are getting antsy about their lives changing, but the problem is it's not just about you. The problem is it's about our community as a whole. And let me speak about the Black community. I came from Bronx, New York, and I used to live in a project. The projects that my mother used to live on have 14 floors. There were at least 10 apartments on each floor. So you have people traveling up and down elevators. You have people that are tightly packed in. That's why it's wreaking havoc in certain communities because of us being tightly packed in. We're not getting information. We're not learning how to prevent this. When you live on the 14th floor, you are not going to walk up 14 floors. You're going to pack into an elevator. And if half the people have masks because they have access to masks, and the other half of the people don't have access to the mask, then you have a perfect breeding ground for this to spread.
Well, that's what I was
So,
saying, ma'am, too. When I could see the way I caught it, because I was in a club. It was this. It's not a big place. We were all dancing. We were sweating. We were in close quarters, and it was a lot of contact with people. So I could see the way I caught that. So I can
right,
understand that what you're saying, far as being in a tightly in an elevator in a small closed quarters. I can see that.
right. And then you don't have, these people are not getting information about, okay, this stays on surfaces. So you have people touching elevator buttons and crowding into elevators and touching door handles and touching mailboxes. So that's why you have in certain communities where this is spreading a lot more than it does. I live in a house. So I can regulate who comes in and out of my house and what I touch and all of that. But when you live in these apartment buildings, you don't have that same amount of control. So that's why in certain areas and instances in the Black community, it is impacting us a lot more. And yes, we have to be thoughtful and mindful, because just because you're walking around and you don't feel sick does not mean you are not spreading that virus. And I think it's haphazard to think, well, I'm good, so, wear a mask anyway, because usually these homemade masks will help you prevent spreading it to someone else. Now, the N95 mask will prevent you catching anything from anyone else. But with, a regular old mask that you can make, or, you can buy, that's going to help you from, it's going to
But
help
let me
prevent
ask
you
you,
from spreading it.
let me ask you a question now. One of the callers that just called in, or I may be getting it wrong, but I did hear somebody say something about they think that we should go maybe 3 more months of
Yeah, the
quarantining.
guy just
But
said that.
okay, I just want
Yeah,
because sometimes my hearing is selective. Um,
yeah.
okay, so if do you agree with that? And if you do agree with that, how would that still stop the spread after 3 months of more quarantine when we all are carriers?
Well, I
Do
don't
that
know
make
if we're going to
do that
go
make
three
any
more
sense? What
months.
I'm asking you all, because if we're all carriers,
Yeah.
we're all in our
I'm not
homes,
saying we're all carriers,
but we're
because we're not
carriers,
all carriers.
and we're
I'm talking
now
about
okay.
people who
Now
are
we some
asymptomatic.
of us are asymptomatic or same thing in my opinion. I know it's not the same, but I'm just gonna in my mind I'm gonna say it's the same. If we're all asymptomatic and we're all carriers and we're in the house and we're quarantining, we're wearing our masks, we're washing our hands, and we're doing it everything, and after 90 more days of quarantining, who's to say after we still come outside, we're gonna still spread it some more because we're still carriers and asymptomatic? What's
Well, there's a window, so you don't have COVID forever. So there's a window. They're saying from 7 to 14 days, and that's what the original 2 week quarantine was supposed to be addressing. But I called into your show before and said,
yes,
okay,
yes.
what if you get this on the 13th day, and then you go out into the community on the 14th day, you're still spreading the virus.
Yeah, we had this
So
discourse. I remember we had a good
yeah.
discourse.
So the thing about it is, there's a window where you have it. So depending on your health, it can go from 7 to, let's even say, 21 days. Because your health is really bad, you have other pre-existing conditions. So let's say the window of having COVID is 7 to 21 days. So that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to flatten the curve. And what happened in the case of my friend, she she just she's had it for almost damn near 4 weeks now, but she got
I can see that.
retested last week and she came back negative. Now the other
Where do
issue
you think she
is
got it from? Where do you think is she near
she
people
has
who?
no clue, because she didn't travel. She didn't know, like, she doesn't have a clue. Somebody was walking around asymptomatic with it, and she picked it up from them. That's the bottom line.
That is what I'm
Because she
saying.
didn't.
That is exactly what I'm saying, ma'am. That statement right there. A lot of people, as far as people in the nursing homes, I'm sure a lot of people when I worked in the nursing homes, ain't you be working hard, okay? You working hard. You're not near nobody traveling internationally. So how was these people in the nursing homes getting it just like your friend? Did she really have COVID? So she tested positive. Did she test positive? Did she test negative? Like, how was these people getting it if it's already here? It's already here.
Right,
It did
it's
not come. So
already
I think we've
here.
already established that it did not come from China. I think maybe the channel was a way to get it in our minds, get it on the news or something, to bring it more to the forefront. Because if you ask me, it's been here for a while. And people are telling me it's already on the back of Lysol cans. The coronavirus is nothing new. It's already trademarked. And I've said that before. Somebody owns coronavirus. Okay, these viruses
Right,
are
it's a
made
family
and
of
trademarked.
viruses called the corona. Uh-huh.
Yeah, so where did she so she are you saying that she was tested positive and then she had for 4 weeks and she still got a little bit of it and she's in there, she's negative? I mean, she tested negative now.
Yes.
Okay.
So she, in the heart of it, well, when she first went to the emergency room, the that the day after she woke up and felt like she was drowning. She went to the emergency room. They tested her, and she came back negative. That first test, okay? She waited a week to go see her doctor on the advice of the ER, which was stupid as hell because she could have been dead in a week. But she waited a week, went to the doctor. The doctor retested her, and then she came back positive. And now it's been a couple of weeks since that positive, and now the coronavirus has, the COVID 19, let me stop saying
Yeah,
coronavirus.
me
The
too.
COVID 19 has worked its way out of her system. Now she's dealing with secondary issues, but she is not positive with COVID 19. But here's the other thing that's really important: you can get COVID 19, um, get rid of COVID 19, and then finding people are catching COVID 19 again. So
Yeah,
they don't even
yeah.
think we can develop an immunity to it. So
Right.
that's why this quarantine is so important because you can catch it, get rid of it, and catch it again.
But that's like most flus. I've had flus throughout my life. I've had different flus, stomach flu. I've had all kind. I call it the flu. Now I've never been diagnosed, you all. I call it that. It could be anything. It could be a COVID 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've had, because I've never been diagnosed. So I'm just saying I had the flu. Okay. Now, far as your friend, yeah, you said your friend felt like she was drowning and she went and got tested. Why didn't they keep her in the hospital?
Child, because they
Do that? That
refused,
don't even make sense.
basically, they refused to believe she had COVID because of all her pre-existing conditions. They said it was probably bronchitis or the flu.
Then why they just didn't keep her in
Because
the hospital? A
in
lot of
our
times they keep
area,
you
there were no
overnight.
cases.
But
I'm sorry?
a lot of times, especially when you are an older person, they keep you overnight. When you say I'm drowning, I can't breathe, something is wrong.
No,
That is
they
the
didn't.
ABC. They keep you in the hospital for that.
Right. She got poor medical care. She absolutely. She got shitty medical care
But the flu is a virus,
altogether.
heavy bear. I think that's you. The flu is a virus too. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, ma'am.
Yes. Yes. So she got crappy medical care off the bat. Had she not gone to her doctor and then her doctor put her on antibiotics? Now we know antibiotics don't kill viruses, but they
Right.
gave her antibiotics to kill secondary infection.
Right. Yeah, you can't. When you cannot go to the hospital or with saying that you have a flu or a virus and things like that. They do send you back home for that. But I'm saying, far as
Right.
your friend,
Right.
she's older and things like that. Yeah,
Right.
that's why I said why
They
they
should
did
have
not
been
keep
more.
her. Yeah.
Yeah, she got crappy care. That's the bottom line. She got crappy care. But again, her doctor is telling her she needs to stay in the house for at least 3 months because if she catches COVID again, they're afraid that her body has been so taxed that it will be fatal to her a second round.
Yeah, and
So
I
this is
believe that.
again why they're saying they have to keep extending this quarantine and keep extending this quarantine. Because if it keeps traveling from asymptomatic person to asymptomatic person, because you're not going to get tested or think you're sick because you don't have symptoms, but that doesn't mean you don't have the virus and you are not spreading it.
That's what that.
So
Yeah.
it's,
No, go ahead,
and that's
ma'am.
the issue. And there's no way to count people who are asymptomatic because we don't have universal testing. And even if they universally tested us, everybody in the United States, let's say they made mandatory testing, I could show up negative today and wind up getting it 7 days, 10 days from now. So just because I'm negative now doesn't mean down the road I can't pick it up. So, whereas with other things, this is just so much more personal because the black community deals with diabetes and heart disease and cancer and lupus and all those things. But those are not things that you can get from touch
But
or
I
I
think I
breathe
think
on
when it
you.
comes to the black community, now that we are facing this COVID-19, that this should be a wake up call for all of us to go ahead on and start eating the best that we can, eating better foods, weaning ourselves off the sugar, weaning ourselves off the carbohydrates. so that we can be able to fight this thing. As far as the African
Well, the
American
problem is,
community, because you can cure.
I'm not.
I'm not going to say you can cure yourself from heart disease, but you can cure yourself from diabetes. You just eat the right foods.
Yeah,
You can take your fish oils and things like that for your heart. You can increase exercise. Do the best you can to strengthen your heart. You can do things like that. So if you are faced
absolutely.
with this COVID-19, or I mean, along with washing your hands and wearing your mask and things like that, then you will be able to
Be
fight it
healthier.
off. Yeah, be healthy and fight it off better. Go ahead.
The problem is with the black community because we are so economically challenged. It costs money to eat healthy. Like it's cheaper to go to McDonald's than it is to go and buy you some salad and organic salad greens and all this stuff. Like you have to have the money for that.
Well, let me ask you.
And when
Let me
you're
say
already
this. That now,
struggling,
but let me say this. And everything you just said is very true. But it's our dollars. We are the ones who's spending. Black communities, black African Americans are the ones who's spending the $1.7 trillion a year. So
right?
if we are
But
being if we put out come together and say, well, McDonald's, we're not going to buy any more of this stuff. Because it's a choice. We don't have to buy hamburgers and things like that. We don't have to buy the fries. I mean, it's a choice. But if we
it
if
is
we,
a
we
choice.
can come together and say, well, look, we're not going to patronize this place anymore. If you're not selling the greens or the carrots or whatever it is that we're going to need to put those B vitamins and those vitamins in our bodies to fight off viruses and illnesses and diseases and things like that.
Right. And you're absolutely right. If we could do that and have an impact on the things that we are purchasing and what is being sold to us, that would be wonderful. But everyone has such an individualistic attitude about, this. It's like how this affects me.
Yeah,
Well,
zinc.
I'm not. Look the thing with Monique and Netflix. She asked us as a black community to boycott Netflix. Now, whether you agree with her
I
or not,
know.
there was a call to action, and I saw a whole lot of my black friends going, "I ain't giving up my Netflix. I ain't doing it." And that's the attitude. I'm not do. Y'all do it. I'm not doing it. And see, now COVID has gone across economic lines, race lines, religion. COVID don't care who you are. So, yes, it is up to us to come together as a community, but we have such an individualistic mindset that I'm hoping we will learn the lessons from this, but I don't know. Now, I just want to add one more thing. When my friend got sick, I was around her. Now I started to feel my throat start to hurt, and I went, "Oh hell no!" And I pulled out some throat spray that had oregano oil, grapeseed oil, olive leaf oil. Sprayed my throat down and sucked on some zinc lozenges, and I didn't get sick like she did. So there are things that we can do, but again, you have to have this knowledge and you have to have the money for this stuff. I've known about this stuff for, decades now.
Yeah.
So I know viruses can't survive in zinc. Zinc shuts down the copying, the replicating process of viruses. So I went and sucked on my zinc lozenges. Yes, you will lose your taste buds, but it's better than getting sick. So, there are things that we can do individualistically, but again, the quarantine is not only about those who are sick and know it, it's about those who are sick and don't know it. And
But
then you
look,
keep spreading it to people.
let me ask you as well. Since I've been coming on every couple of days, I come on, I add a little things to tell people to do to be alkalinic. Today we're talking about the zinc and the B1 and the vitamin D, and we're talking about all
And
black
the
grapeseed
seed,
oil, the
uh-huh.
black seed oil, and the ginger root.
Yes,
We've been talking about ginger root. We've been talking about a whole lot of different little things. But
yes,
don't you think that it is amazing how, and me and one of the me and my mod, we talked about this too. How in the stores there's piles and piles of vitamins in these doggone stores because no one wants to go to the store it's no damn toilet paper. And you see how
Well, it depends on
crazy
the vitamins you're looking for.
but
Because I'm
okay.
looking for zinc.
But you see how crazy that is that
Oh,
you would
absolutely.
think that
That's people's major
you
focus.
would think that of they're scaring us half to death. We want you to stay in. We want you to wash your hands. We want you to wear a mask. We want you to buy toilet paper. But they're not telling you what you can do at home to get rid of viruses and
Right.
all of these
Because they
things
can't
that
make money off of that. Because
it's sad.
if I can get myself well the way I got myself well, there's no prescription for that. So, again, this comes down to more than this being about the virus. This is a virus of fear.
That's what
And
I was
so
saying as well. I think that it is the fear factor too. But let me ask you another question. Do you? I'm feeling now that this COVID-19 may bring us together as a country.
if we are wise, and that's a big if. Because again, this is crossing all boundaries. It doesn't care if you're rich, it doesn't care if you're poor, it doesn't care if you're black, white, Muslim, Christian, it doesn't care. So now, as people living in this system, we need to demand stuff. It needs to stop being, well, if I'm okay, I don't care about whatever's going on. Like 9/11. I lived through 9/11. I lived in New York. But see, when you see it on the TV, when you see something happening to somebody else, you can go, oh my God, I'll say a prayer for them, and you go on about your life. See, we can't do that in this instance
Well, no.
because you just don't know when and if it's going to touch you. This is very personal now. We've always faced matters of death, life and death. This is not new to us, but what's new to us is how personal this is. Because I can't go, it's just them in China. It's just them in India. It's just the white man. It's just the black man. We can't do that anymore. So if we are wise, we will take a hint and realize that we have to do this as a global community, not just individuals.
Well, let me
Like,
ask you: have you heard any stories of looting? Now, normally, remember
no,
in the past when we've had, with the Eric Garner and we've had the
yes,
the police
right.
brutality and things like that, and we had a lot of our people go out and loot and all these kinds of things,
Right.
have you heard with this shutdown, with people not working, people not having food? Have you now? It would seem to me that this will be the time when people should be looting.
Well, you got to realize the Eric Gardner cases and all those other cases brought anger. That looting came from anger.
But what about looting
So
come from being scared of not having any food?
well, and in the beginning, I did hear about a couple of cases of looting, but
Yeah, I
then you
know
didn't hear
one or
about it
two.
anymore.
Yeah, but
So, but as
don't you
this
think in this
keeps
climate
going,
don't you think in this climate you would hear more stories of looting because people don't have any food and people don't have any money, people are out of work. And
well, remember, Nicole, we're just 3 weeks in. I mean, this is going to go on at least another month. So we would have to have that conversation in another month or two.
But I'm
Because
saying
we're just at the beginning of
When
this.
that thing happened with Eric Garner and Freddie Gray and all them, they looted. It ain't take no 2 or 3 weeks to loot. They looted and
Right.
did crazy
But
stuff
again,
right
that
then and
was
there.
fueled out of anger and out of injustice. I think people right now are just so afraid. And yes, you're going to still have the criminal element out there. But, for the most part, people are afraid.
And what
And
about
people are being put.
let me ask you about crime. Have crime gone down? What about all the shootings that we're normally used to hearing all the time? I haven't been hearing too
Well, I
much.
would think that
I
would
haven't
go
even been
down.
hearing any crime. I haven't even been hearing any gunshot wounds, stab. Nobody's fighting.
Well, let me tell you something that I just heard that was kind of crazy to me, and I heard this from a doctor. He's saying the hospitals are actually suffering because
The hospitals
even
are
though
empty. There is, yeah, go
the
ahead. Yeah, you're right.
the hos- the hospitals are suffering because they don't have the gunshot wounds, the this, the that, the other, all those extra things that we got so used to. to, which brought money into the
Right.
system,
Losing out
the
on money.
hospitals are now suffering because, not every hospital is full to the brim with COVID patients. I mean, in the hot spots, that's
They're
true,
not
but
even
in
really,
other
yeah,
places,
they're not filled with any COVID patients. A lot of hospitals there don't have any COVID patients there. They're saying
exactly.
20,000, but I mean, I'm sure people are dying and are sick now. I know that to be true. But they're not, the
Right.
hospitals, they're not making any money off of the COVID-19.
And right, and because you don't have people hanging out and all the gang violence and people shooting people and you don't have all the usual stuff that we got so used to going on. So now hospitals are losing money,
Do you think
which
that the
I
COVID
found very
19 is helping?
interesting.
Do you think that with the COVID 19, even though they're saying that it is affecting the African American people more, like I said, I think this can bring us closer together. We can learn to eat better, you know, increase our odds to live longer.
I think there could be a beautiful silver lining in this
I'm seeing a
if
silver lining, y'all.
people
What are y'all seeing? Are y'all seeing a silver lining with COVID 19? Because God letting it
if
happen.
people are willing to come together
I think that
and
people.
not go back into the same old mindset. Well, it's happening to you. It's not happening to me, so I don't care. As long as
I
me
think
and
that
mine
it's.
are okay, I don't care what's going on. As long as I'm making money, I don't care that your children are sick and hungry. Like we got to change that.
Yeah.
And so I think, again, this COVID 19 is making everyone look at how much illusion and delusion we have put up in our lives.
Yeah.
Because what you thought was priority, like, oh, my job, and oh, my house, and oh, the pretty clothes I have, and the shoes I have, and now you're going, oh my God, I just need to survive right now. All that other crap doesn't even make a difference.
Yeah.
And that's the stuff we built, we bought into as Americans, that very materialistic mindset. And now we're going, oh my God, all that crap doesn't even matter. I just want to survive in this moment.
But you know
Like
what?
I just want to sure have food.
Also too, it should make us more American, to where we might need to not depend on China so much, and to depend
Yes,
on and bring get those jobs back here and
those
depend on
manufacturing
each
jobs have to
other.
come back to America.
So I think
Amen. Hallelujah.
This COVID 19 may be a blessing in damn disguise. Okay.
I'm telling you, because again, we have outsourced so much of our industry that now when we need crap, oh my God, we got to wait for it to come from China, and China's sick. Are you kidding me?
No, we don't want nothing else from China. Thank goodness, no. And we got
So
talented people here.
absolutely. So this could really be, I call it the universal reset. We have to
I
reset
do
the way
too.
we're living our lives. We got to reset the way we're thinking.
I do
We got
too.
to reset everything.
Yeah, because you know
I
what?
don't want to go back to
I
normal.
think that we really was killing ourselves with the way things were with
Absolutely.
everything. The food was, the food is not good. They putting all these pesticides and all this GMO. The food was bad. The music is bad. Everything. I mean, we got corrupt politicians. That's
Everything. We
Republicans
need to be
and
reset.
Democrats. I mean, so many things. And I think maybe this is God's way of doing the reset, like you say. I think this is God's way of saying somebody will get it. Somebody will open up their eyes and see that I'm
And
trying
let's
to.
even talk about climate change, okay? We've known for at least a decade now the impact our footprint has had on the planet. Now, all of a sudden, there's very little footprint. There's very little carbon footprint that's being done because we had to shut down.
Yeah.
So who knows? And us shutting down or minimizing our carbon footprint in these last couple of weeks, what impact that is going to have on global warming?
Yeah.
Because everyone I listened to was saying we were at the brink. It was like once we passed this point, we there is no returning. And then COVID-19 came,
Yeah.
and we had to shut down.
Yeah.
Our carbon footprint has been minimized. So there are so many ways that if you are open to seeing, you can see. Listen, not everybody's going to survive. I'm not promising that. I'm not
Everybody's
saying
that,
that.
but you know what? Yeah, because we all are here for a purpose. We're all here. Um, we're all here from God to do what He has us to do here, our own path or individual paths that He has for us to do. So I think that He may be He's taking the earth back, and if this is some type of cleansing that God is doing in Jesus' name, happy Easter, then I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Even if I got to be the sacrifice and go head on and go, you know what? I'm down for it, for the change, for our generation, for the next
Right.
generation, for
For
our
the
people.
universal reset.
Whatever
Yes.
the
Yes,
sacrifice,
ma'am.
if it have to be me to go for to make a change, and is then so be it for me, because I'm here
And
for the
if
change.
anything, I want your
I
listeners,
just
your
don't want to be out of
audience,
fear.
to,
I'm here for the
to
change, but I don't want it to be because I'm afraid. You know.
right. But I want your listeners to kind of grasp this. We don't need to go back to normal. Normal wasn't working for us.
All right.
It wasn't. So let's get rid of normal. Now that's gonna mean we're gonna have to sacrifice some things. And
Yeah.
see, that's the problem. Nobody wants to sacrifice. But we're being made to sacrifice right now.
Yeah.
And so the thing is, we're going to have to sacrifice, or as not just as a race, but as humanity, we're not going to make it. And so, whatever this is that stepped in and said, okay, for a couple of weeks, we shutting it all down.
Yeah, this could be the
You
blessing
know,
in disguise, y'all.
exactly.
This could be the blessing in disguise, everybody. This could be the
Exactly. And I
blessing
know
in
people are fearful,
disguise.
and I know this is not easy for everyone, but we got to look at this on a humanitarian scale, a
Yeah.
universal scale. We were not heading in a good place.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Just as a black race, we know the crap that goes on in our race. And now, let me tell you, people that I know, white conservative people that I know, that I have been preaching this to 3, 4 years ago, are now going, girl, you knew. And I'm going, yup, I tried to tell you, but you said I was crazy. So now people are listening. Now people are realizing. Well, you can have white conservative Trump lovers going, yeah, y'all are just being sensitive. Oh, no. Am I being sensitive now?
No.
No, exactly.
Well,
Because it's affecting you.
it doesn't even have to do with anybody that loves Trump or love Democrats or whatever, because we're all on this earth together, and it's more of a humanitarian situation. It's
Right.
more
But
of
see, people
self
don't.
deprivation. Right now we're in self deprivation. We're trying to stay alive. We're trying to have something for our offspring, or earth that can continue on. And the way we were going, it just was not cutting it in God's eyes.
Well, just on a humanitarian, level, whether you want to bring religion into it or not, we were just corrupting the earth. We were destroying the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And so now
That's what
something
I'm
just
saying.
came
Yeah.
and said, I'm just going to shut y'all down
Yeah.
for however long it takes. And the thing about it again is, unless people's attitude is very egocentric and self-centered, if it ain't happening to me, I don't care. I don't care if
Either
somebody
way, you're
across the
gonna be
world.
affected. Either way, you're gonna be affected.
Exactly. And so now we all have to take a breath and go, oh my God, what you do affects me. Because if you're out here asymptomatic and spreading the COVID, you might spread it to my child or my mother, and then they may not be asymptomatic. They might get this in a deadly way. So now everybody's very aware about how our actions impact each other. Where before, I don't care.
Okay,
I don't care.
let me give you
I'm gonna
one
do
more.
what I want to
Let
do,
me give
and
you
I
one
don't
more
care how
minute.
it affects you.
Let me give you one more minute, because somebody's calling in.
Okay. No, that was it. I enjoyed this
Well,
conversation.
thank you so much. You've been great, and happy Easter to you.
Happy Easter to you too.
All
I'll
right, bye
talk to you
bye.
later. Bye, sweetie.
Bye bye. That was a great caller. A lot of information, a lot of information. And then we brought it back to positivity at the end of the day. Hello, this is Mr. Cole, Tyler's Car Chronicles. Happy Easter. What is your comment on COVID-19? Are we going into a new normal? Are you how are you doing with this?
Happy Easter, Miss Nicole.
Hello, how are you today?
I'm doing all right. So my comments on COVID. I don't know. I'm just really unsure of it right now. I feel like as Black people, we have to be careful because we can't be ignorant to our history in this country. They've lied to us time and time again. Back in the day, they killed tens of thousands of Black men, telling us that they were giving us like some sort of revolutionary treatment, but they were actually
Giving
trying to
us
find a cure
syphilis.
for syphilis,
Yeah.
and they
And
ended
you
up
and
killing a
you
lot of us.
yeah.
And
Go
then
ahead.
through the 50s and 60s, they were telling Black men and women to come in for either minor surgeries or small procedures, and they were taking out their uterus, their testicles. They were lying to us, so they might be trying to like now get us to be the forefront of the testing for the vaccine. So they want to tell us that we're the most sick.
Yeah, that's true. You do have to be careful with those tests. And I can tell y'all right now, Miss Nicole Taylor not taking any tests. I'm telling you
Mm-mm.
now. I'm not one for the flu vaccine. I'm not one of those ones that take that. And like I say, if I do get this again, because I believe I had it before, and if I get it again and anything happened to me, I will just be the sacrificial lamb. I don't mind being that because I'm not taking any tests.
Me neither. Like even if they wave a little money in front of you, don't just
No.
fall for that because you don't want to be a Purdue chicken shot up with all type of chemicals.
Yeah, no, I don't want anything in me. No, I'll just take my chances with the stuff that I'm doing at home.
Yeah,
I'll just
yeah,
take my chances with that.
but like you said though, hopefully like we get some good out of this. I mean, America is so money hungry. I don't think they're gonna like stop shipping from China because they can get things cheaper, but really they should give the money to our own citizens and let us work and produce our
Yeah,
own materials.
yeah. A lot of our jobs has been outsourced to a lot of countries, and and America give out so much money to these other countries, millions and millions of dollars to the other countries for what? When we need the money here, and that little money that they're sending with this stimulus package to me is not enough. Especially,
Yeah,
especially
$1,200 ain't
it's
nothing
twelve hundred
one time.
dollars. Especially if we're gonna go, if we had a call to say 90 more days of quarantine. So
We could. Trump is saying that, he wants it to be over by May, but who knows? Like, it could take a long time, and then they've gotten a lot of things wrong. So even if they release this, it may just end up getting worse. And then they have to put us back in quarantine because it was too soon. So we can't, like, take anything really, like, for sure right now.
yeah, we really just don't know because just like the call, that's like I was having a dialogue with that caller. A lot of us are carriers. A lot of us are asymptomatic.
Right.
And you do not know. You can, and we talked about this on previous chronicles, that you can go take a test and it comes out negative. And that young lady just called here and said her friend who was drowning felt like she was drowning. She went to the doctor, and you would, and now from what I know about here in Virginia where I live, if you have them symptoms, they're gonna admit you in the daggone hospital. Okay, they're gonna keep you overnight.
They should.
I don't know why
Right.
they did not keep that lady, but this caller just said that when her friend went and she felt like she was drowning, she took the test and it was negative. So
Did she have it, though, or did
I
she end up
think
having something
I
else?
think she said that she had it. Is it me? Did she say she had COVID-19 and
Because
then she tested negative?
Because I know, like, I know you could be asymptomatic and not have symptoms, but I believe if you test, then it should, everybody should be able, it should be able to be picked up from anyone's body. I mean, that's what I've heard, but who knows? Information is changing daily. This thing is really like crazy.
I don't know, man.
And,
It
and,
that
and then it has me doing my schooling from
Yeah,
home, and one
okay,
of my
so
teachers, he wants to act up. It's like, if you play with me, I'm going to take all my documentation. I think I might sue them if they keep it up. But
Let me. I'm listening to one of my moderators. She said that she did say she had it, but I do remember her saying that when she first initially went with the drowning, feeling like she was drowning in her lungs, like she couldn't breathe. That when she did
mhm,
go to the doctor, it was negative. The test came out negative. So she
it,
went. She had a negative. Then it was positive. Now it's after 4 weeks, it's negative again. So do you see? Do you see how frustrating that could be? For a person like me
yes.
who does not have any symptoms, I could be asymptomatic and I could be a carrier. And I go 1 minute, okay, I'm just gonna go, okay, it's negative. The next week I might sneeze, I'm gonna go again, it could be positive. I still don't have no symptoms. I'm just saying for me. And then it could
Right.
be
I mean,
positive. I
it's
mean,
irritating for me
it's
too,
irritating. It's frustrating.
because they say, oh, you could be feeling sick, but it could be allergies, but then you could be feeling completely fine and you could have it. It's like, well, damn, which one?
Didn't I say
But
this before?
I think,
we had this
I think,
conversation before. Go ahead, sir.
I think, this is K Breezy, right?
Yeah, I know who you are.
Okay, okay. And then I think though, like with the testing though, I think what it is like whatever. I don't know how the test measures your body to see if you have it, but I think even if you have it, but whatever you have is like at a low rate, maybe they can't pick it up, and then that's why if you go back, maybe once the virus has
It get in
progressed,
your
then they can
bloodstream.
trace it. But either way, it's irritating, it's confusing, and it's like a waste of tests because
It's a
like who
waste of
wants to keep
tests.
testing?
It's a waste of money. Like who's gonna? You cannot keep on retesting. How many tests? That's 3 tests that lady then took. For one test, that lady then took. Is it me or the lady took 3 tests?
They need to start like instructing doctors to like wait a period of time. If someone's having the symptoms, they need to measure it out and make sure they're at the point where they can test for it. Because like they can't just be wasting tests like that and then sending people home and people die,
Yeah.
people spread it.
See, all of it. That's why I'm saying that it's they don't have no protocols in place. They don't have no guidelines. None of this stuff. And it could be me, y'all. Please don't listen to me. Y'all listen to me, but y'all definitely have your own mind. Y'all know I got my own damn mind. But to me, it's not no protocols, no guidelines in place. You're wasting tests. You're coming out
Hmm.
with false positives. You're coming out with false negatives. We're all in the house.
Yeah.
We're self quarantining because some of us are carriers, some of us are asymptomatic. A
Right.
lot of us already, like I live in the East Coast where we have all of these allergies and things, and some of these
Me too.
allergies
I'm in Maryland.
are really
I'm in the
bad.
same
Like you
area.
really feel like you are sick, like you got pressure in your head, you can't hear your ears. I mean, some of these
Yes.
allergies that we have in the East Coast are mimics the damn COVID-19, and I'm not even being funny. That's what I was
Right.
saying.
No.
That's what I was saying last month. Like I know people who have to get a shot for allergies. They're just that bad. They can't breathe. They may feel like they drowning in every damn thing, but it's not even the COVID-19. It is allergies, and that's what I was saying before. Like we all are just staying in. We don't know. So that's what I was saying, that it's the fear factor of the whole thing, that you just don't want to go through your life being afraid. Being you want to be healthy. Like I'm saying, the best things that we can do is just try to be healthy as we can,
Right. And sanitary and clean.
and sanitary and clean, right?
Yeah. Are you cooking now that this happened, or do you still eat out?
I've been eating. No, I've been cooking. Yesterday I've been eating fish this week. This week has been fish and kale this week.
Okay,
So I've been
that's
eating
good.
fish and
So,
kale this week, and today I'm going to my mom's house for dinner.
okay, good, good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You just have to like prepare your own food. Don't be going to McDonald's because they might, be asymptomatic and have something, and then they're talking and their particles get over your fries, then you get sick. Like,
It's
at least
just,
if you buy stuff from the grocery store, you can wipe it off first.
but the thing is that I'm just hoping, K Breezy, that we all are learning lessons about these viruses, about these illnesses, about these even these diseases and things like that,
Hmm.
so that we can become a better, healthy nation. So that when we
Hmm.
are when we are approached with all these viruses coming to our space, that we are able to get over them, we are able to get rid of them, because we have already built up an immunity due to us eating healthy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To where we may sneeze, if it's trying to get in our nasal passages, we sneeze it out, and it does not even touch us.
Right. Did you hear about how they're treating the Africans over in China?
Well, I heard that they were putting the Africans out. I think I heard that saying that they're the ones
Yes.
spreading the disease, the virus, or whatever.
And swabbing them with what a lot of people believe are like contaminated, tests, and basically forcing them to. They're not giving them health care, not letting them in restaurants. It's terrible.
Yeah,
We just have to, I don't know,
yeah,
take it a day at a time.
yeah. We just gonna just look at them, learn from them, and we are Americans, and we're gonna do what we have to do in this country to stay healthy. To definitely educate ourselves and educate our children, because our children are not in school and all this kind of stuff.
Hmm.
Oh boy, I just don't like the propaganda of the fear factor. I just don't like that fear
Me
factor.
neither.
We got that we need 30,000 ventilators, and we need all these people are dying everywhere and all of this stuff, and it's almost like I do want to, be engulfed in what I'm reading and what I'm hearing on the news, but then just last year or year before, for many years, I'm hearing all these people are dying of gun violence. I'm hearing of all this crime. I'm hearing from all these drug overdoses, and it's like, okay, so I'm supposed to leave that alone, which we need to really tackle this. This is something we can tackle, and get this out of our country with all this drug violence and guns and opioids. And now I'm just turning my attention on the COVID. We need to see all of it as it's a nuisance. Get this out of here. All of it need to be gotten out of here. So, in a way, I'm just saying, like before, it's a positive. I'm hoping that this brings light on us so we can eat better, be better people. People are
Hmm.
saying that the crime has gone down. Like I'm saying, there isn't any looting, because to me it seems like self-preservation. You will be out there looting. You will be out there scared to death, and there isn't no looting. So that lets you know. They always put that stigma on black people. Oh, look at those animals. They're out there looting, and they're out there doing that, and they go to show you what they're saying about black people is wrong. Okay,
Right.
because we're not out there looting, and in face of fear, our life is in danger. And
We're
we're not
probably the
out there
cleanest.
looting. We're not out there doing that. We're out there. We're actually trying to stay safe. We actually do have children.
Right. Yeah, I mean, they always put the worst stuff on us in the media, but we know, a lot of that's not even true. So,
Yeah.
but
Any.
that's what I wanted to
Well,
call
thank
in to
you, K
say, Miss
Breezy.
Nicole.
Thank you. I'm gonna take one more call, and then I'm gonna go and it's the one of my mom may call.
Okay. Happy
But
Easter.
thank you
Stay
so much.
safe
We're
and
gonna take the
healthy.
last caller. Thank you, K Breezy. Happy Easter. Thank you for calling, Miss Nicole Tyler, and the Hearts and Roses.
Of course, of course. Happy Easter, everyone. Okay.
Bye bye. All right, this is Miss Nicole Tyler. You're gonna be my last caller. I think that you just called here. No? Okay.
Okay, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Thank you to Car Chronicles.
Okay,
Happy Easter. What is your comment? You're gonna be the last caller.
I was calling on a few comments about the COVID.
Yeah. Any information that
Okay,
you can give us? Any information, anything you've
yes,
heard on the news that's troubling or that can help us out to bring to our awareness?
yes. Okay, so March 23rd, look it up. March 23rd, Trump signed a Secure the 5G Act. It's a bill that allows providers with 5G, telephone, even the cable company is getting into 5G. They have telephone service. They're allowing them to build more towers. When you
Yeah,
look
the
up
5G, is that what you're talking about? The 5G?
5G,
Okay, because I haven't heard. I've been hearing people talk about it, but I don't know too much about it. So, okay, I'm glad you're talking, bringing that
okay,
into this conversation. So, go ahead on and enlighten us.
okay, so he signed that on March 23rd. Now remember, all this time people are getting sick, but he signed that act. Okay, we're all being told to stay inside. There are curfews, there's isolation, and we're inside. You can't see what's going on outside if you're inside, right? But he
Right.
signs in the middle of that. He signs an act that allows the providers to build more towers to secure the 5G towers they already have, which means to make them a little bit more invisible. You get where I'm coming from? Or we can't see. It's
Well,
called the Secure 5G Act.
okay. Now
Anybody want to look it
what
up?
is
They
this app
can.
for? What is this app for? Because I've heard people talk about 5G, but I don't know what is this for the future of what? What is it going to do?
Okay.
How is it going to
The
change our lives as we know it?
okay. I'm going to tell you why I brought that up. Okay. 5G radiation has the same
Oh, the
symptoms
radiation.
as this COVID. What's going on is there's two COVID. One is the coronavirus. The coronavirus has been around for quite a while. When we had SARS going on, that was the coronavirus.
Yeah, MRSA and all of those too. I think are part of
Right.
the
Now,
coronavirus.
right. So now COVID-19 is a new strand that's out now. Now,
Okay.
I want to say this before anybody go, oh, she's a conspiracy theorist. No, I'm not. I want to say this. It's called novel, Novel, novel COVID. Anybody can tell me the definition of a novel.
So what is the goal of this? What is the goal? To give us all cancer? What is the goal of this? What is this? How is
Okay,
this going to affect everybody? Is this in the United States or around the world? How is
oh,
this going to affect us all in a negative way?
oh,
How is it going to affect us?
okay, so, okay, novel means fictitious, fiction. It's fictional narrative. Like this, they named it without, how can you name something that you was never able to test accurately? Anybody, I mean, we all have brains. How could you give an accurate diagnosis with a treatment or a referral, for a doctor tell you to stay home X amount of days, you're going to knock this out, or this is, you need to be isolated. How can they give those kind of instructions without being able to test it properly? There is no testing it properly. When they figure test
Yeah,
something
because
out,
it's a virus. But I mean, I'm just listening to everybody else that's telling me about
right? I'm
these
going to
tests. But okay, I'm just listening to everybody.
okay, so I'm getting, there's no way to like accurately test this thing. But what I want to say is this. What I want to say is this stimulus check that we all can't wait to get. I want to tell you something. Before that, if anybody looks, and I'm not, I promise you, I'm not just going around in circles. There's the census was out. That we all got census, a new census in the mail. Did anybody get that?
Right? Yeah, I got it too.
Right now, okay. I mean, I really don't fill it out. I'm gonna be honest, I don't, because in my mind, it's none of your business how many people in my house, as long as I'm not breaking the law. You know what I mean? And as long as I'm paying the bills. If my cousin ain't doing that well, and they need to spend the night, it's none of your business how many people are in my house on that day. But the thing is that you're going to use that stimulus check as a part of the census because of the fact it's going to accurately find your location. Notice
Okay.
that there are some people that's not going to have to file. People on Social Security, they don't have to file, but they're going
Right.
to find them and locate them and put the check in their hand. Are anybody aware of that? How are they going to
But
locate you?
but I want
Because
you
they're
to
going to
but
do
I
their due
want you because
diligence.
you didn't went into the census. I just want you to break it down about the 5G, about these
Okay,
towers. I want you to.
okay. I'm
I know
getting to that
I'm
to say
trying to
this.
stick with your conspiracy theory. I want to hear it, but I want to get to, is this gonna kill us,
Okay,
or I mean, far as
okay,
what you're saying, this
right,
alleged.
okay,
We don't know. This is a conspiracy theory, y'all. This is
okay.
alleged. We don't
So
know. This is what this lady is hearing. So I
Uh-huh.
want to get to what is it going? Are we going to be impacted?
Okay. So once we have to sign the back of those checks, and that means that it accurately got to our location. They're then going to move in with mobile testing. I don't know that they just released that I think it was this week. Not this was the end of this. I think it was like on Thursday, Friday. They mentioned they're going to start bringing in mobile testing in Black communities. They couldn't
Okay.
do that before because they couldn't locate everyone.
Okay.
They couldn't locate everyone. We never did the census. So they're tired of waiting on the census anymore. And now they're just going to, now that we're going to sign those checks back, that's going to give them where we are, correct or no? Who's
Yeah,
going
that
to
would
send a
make
check
sense.
back in that
So okay,
time?
so we'll say so. Okay, once we sign the back of the test, I mean the back of the checks, then you're saying they're going to start doing mobile testing in the Black communities because
Yes. You
they
can
can
look.
find us.
Yes.
And so are you going to say, are you
Yes.
saying that they're going to give us this test? It's going to test us all positive, and then what?
All of this has been done so they can, I'm just being honest with you. All of this has been done because, if anybody, please do your history. Trump still wants that money for that wall. And he cannot know the accurate number of how many people he needs to knock off of Social Security, of SNAP, of certain different benefits. So he can take those benefits and use it for his wall. And this particular situation has occurred. I'm really being honest, and I'm telling you, if you look at the facts, they do they do align. There is no reason why we should not be able, wait a minute, we should not be able to go outside because this thing is not airborne. It is not airborne. It is like the flu. It's contagious if somebody sneezes on you. Or you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, I understand that
You
because, like
need to
I
be
said, I can
cautious.
see if you get it in the close quarters, like I caught it. But okay, so once we take the test, everybody's gonna be
Well,
positive. What is gonna are you trying to say they're
it's
gonna
just,
exterminate us? Is that
uh-huh.
the end of what you're saying? Because we want to get to the what is the final conclusion?
Okay.
Are they
At the
trying to
end, what
kill
I
us
think the
all?
end goal, I think at this particular, I think okay, I think Trump has his agenda, and then I think that the rest of the government have their agenda. And do they want to, do genocide? Is that what you? I think maybe
Yeah,
it
are
could
they
be.
trying to do
It could
bio
be. It could
warfare?
be
Because I
because
mentioned that
if you
before.
notice, there are tents.
Yes, ma'am.
If you
Hello.
notice, there are tents in front of the hospitals. The tents you go in. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I have not been near
Okay.
any hospital, and I don't tend to go to no hospital.
I listen to me. This is my advice
None.
to everyone. Do not go. Do not go. There's a video
I'm
out
not
right now
going to
where there's
no
a gentleman that
hospitals.
went in to get
I don't
tested.
care.
And he went to get tested and they bombarded him into the room. And they surrounded him in the room and they wanted to give him a needle. And he said, why do I need this needle? And they said, why are you here? He said, I just want to get tested for the COVID. They said, well, we're trying to help you. Then he said, I don't want the needle. Can't y'all do it another way? I told y'all do swab. And in the hospital, they told him, well, now we feel that you don't have the mental wherewithal to make that judgment. So the doctor wants to inject you with this needle to pull blood. I'm just letting you
Right.
know what's going on.
Yeah. Well.
Do
Yeah.
I think there's
We
something
kind
in
of.
that needle? It
Well,
could be.
we
It could be
touched.
GBS tracking. I don't know.
Well, we touched on that a little bit when I was saying that they're conflating the numbers and saying that people are dying from this COVID when really it's just they already had pre-existing condition and they're just saying okay you had COVID or whatever. So we did touch on that a little bit in this broadcast. So you.
I'm gonna say this though. Trump did flip and say one time in one of these little meetings that he's having or these press conferences, he said he was supposed to say respirators, but he flipped and said you guys are going to need generators because he's going to get to the point where they're getting ready to cut everything off. I'm telling
Okay.
you, it's coming. That's why they keep saying another wave is coming. Get ready because they're getting ready to cut the resources off.
Well, that is a theory, and you all know I talked about that a couple of weeks ago as well. Cause see, Miss Nicole Tyler be telling y'all stuff, and y'all be thinking I'm just crazy. But remember, I talked to y'all about, and it's crazy because this is Easter, and remember I talked to y'all about. I said that Jesus, it was in Jesus' times when the Romans surrounded the city, and the Romans, it took them 7 years to put up to put up the wall, to put up the wall around the city. And so what Jesus had told these people, that when y'all start seeing these servicemen, these military men, that you all need to leave the city. And so a lot of these people did not leave the city. So what they did, they stayed. And over a time of 7 years, they built this big old wall to keep the people in, and they stopped the resources and things like that. And you had a lot of people eating their children. Remember I told you all that story? Now, I'm not saying this is going to happen now. I'm just saying that happened then. Okay, go ahead, ma'am. Let me get your final thought, ma'am.
Well, I just want to say, be very cautious. Try to take care of yourself. And y'all can buy all the toilet paper you want. This is not about toilet paper.
No, I don't know why
You
everybody's buying.
are a number, and your number is a value.
Well, right.
And I'm just telling you, try to protect yourself as much as you can. Listen to me. Get you some ammo, get you some food, get you some water. Try to grow things on your own property if you have it. Try, because I'm telling you, it's not a joke. This is not a joke. It's not a test. This is the real deal. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your last call. And thank you so much, lady. Thank you. All right, y'all. We really like that. That gave us some insight. She gave us some conspiracy theories mixed with some things that Trump said, and she gave us some advice. Store your food, take care of yourselves. If you all do believe in the Second Amendment, get your guns, get your ammo, all of those things that America Constitution is about. Is we are about protecting ourselves. We're about freedom of speech, okay? And we also are about freedom to assemble, okay? That we're supposed to be able to assemble. That's in our constitution rights as well, y'all, that we have freedom of assembly, that we can get together in church and things like that. And you see that in the last couple of weeks that has been taken away from us, you all. They want us to just stay in the house, okay? So you also, I want to thank you all for joining Miss Nicole today. I love all of you all. I know sometimes I'm very misunderstood, and I want to thank all of you all who love me and try so hard to understand me and still pat me on the head and say, okay, and y'all still love Miss Nicole Tyler. I want to thank y'all, because y'all don't have to. You all don't have to. There are so many people with so much knowledge, more knowledge than I have to offer. And I thank you all for just being with me, listening to me as a sister, as a friend, viewer, subscriber. I love all of you all. I want you all to please have the best Easter that you can have. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your loved ones, you all. Definitely read, get more information on COVID. More information, even learn your history of things that have happened in this country against African Americans, against all other nationality, races, and people in this country, so that we can better feel safe within ourselves and in our damn homes, okay? So we can take care of our damn children, okay? I want to thank some Lemon Berries and Nicole. You doing great. All right, don't you? You doing great, Nicole. Thank you, Lemon Berries. Thank you. Cause I don't say I'm no smart. I'm not a daggone scholar. Okay, I'm not that. But I am your sister. I'm your friend. I love all of y'all. Okay. I want to thank y'all for being here today. Have a blessed and great Easter. And I am out. Okay. All right, y'all. Love y'all.